Welcome, SofTappers! Today we're going to be talking about how to choose SofTap colors for eyebrows. Okay, so selecting color for brows is really pretty easy. All you have to do is ask 2 questions. The first question you're going to ask your client is, would they like their color to be light, medium, or dark? And your second question is going to be, do they want more red or less red in their color? Once you have those color choices narrowed down, all you need to do is actually test the color right in the eyebrow to see what it's going to look like. So why do we test colors in the eyebrows? Is because if you wipe down that color and smear it down like you're trying to wipe it off, you get to see what the undertones are. Yes, our colors are sheer, so you will see the undertones of the skin coming through that color. So the same color will look very different on different skin tones. So it is very important, we think, to test the color directly on the skin to see how it's going to heal. And they really do heal like that color that you see once you smear it down. So it's a good trick to have up your sleeve when you're choosing color. Okay, so this will narrow your color choices down to just 2 or 3 colors because the SofTap colors have been very thoughtfully organized into 3 palettes. They're into cool, neutral, and warm. And within those, they are all separated into light, medium, and dark. So if you ask your client these 2 questions, you can narrow your color choices down to 2, maybe 3 colors. And from there, you can test them right on their skin. Okay, so for example, if we were to pick a color for my lovely client here, Irene, I would then ask her, would you like your color to be light, medium, or dark? Dark. Dark. Which should be kind of obvious. She has dark hair and she has dark hair in her eyebrows, but let's just pretend that we're not really sure. So then I would ask her, do you usually like your brows to be more red? Do you like them to be a little bit of red or no red? Well, I don't like a lot of red in the color, but I also don't want them to look ashy on me. Okay, so from that we can see we would want to pick something in the dark, maybe medium range. We don't want to go too harsh because she already has kind of black hair in her eyebrows. And we would also want to pick a color that's not in the warm palette and not in the cool palette because she doesn't want it to be gray looking and she also doesn't want it to be red looking. So we're going to go with neutral. So as we would see from our color chart, the neutral palette and the dark and kind of medium dark, we have espresso, earth, or mahogany to pick from. So when we look at Irene, probably mahogany is a little too dark. So we wouldn't want to pick that, especially right off the jump. We like to go a little more conservative. So we're going to test both espresso and earth on her. We'll smear the color over each eyebrow to see which one looks better. All right, so which one looks best? So this is where it gets a little bit difficult because it's kind of subjective, right? So I looked in the mirror, I like both of them a lot. What you do here is you choose the one that you like better, which in my case, for a more subtle look, I actually really like the espresso. But for a more dramatic look, or if I wanted to do something more ombre, then I could use the earth and just use it in the arch, or use that for my hair stroke color. What if your client they don't even know what color they want? They're just saying, you're the expert, you're the professional, you tell me, which happens a lot too. It does, and sometimes for a newer artist that can be a little bit daunting. So what you do is you try to answer those 2 questions for them. If you look at them, you're like, okay, do they look like they're light, medium, or dark? Do they look like they need a lot of red in the color, some red, or no red at all? And you can narrow down your color choices based off of what you see. Yeah. And you can use a lot of clues to figure out what you even see. A lot of times we talk about skin undertones. Do they have warm skin, cool skin, neutral skin? You can look at that too, and those are very important, but there's other hints that you can look at, like hair color or even what clothes your client is wearing. And you can also match the color that's present already in the eyebrows. Sometimes if you have someone who has a strawberry blonde color naturally present in the eyebrows, it's a good idea to match the natural hair present. Choose something like caramel. All right, and finally, if you need more help, SofTap has an awesome and free app that has a great color selection tool. And all you need to do is go into the advanced color guide in the app and select your procedure. In this case, it would be eyebrows. You would select your starting color. And if your client has never had anything done before, it would be virgin skin. We also have starting colors for non-virgin skin, including touch-ups and corrections. Yes. Select your starting color and then select your ending color, whatever that might be.
and the app will give you some good color choices for that.
And these color choices that it's going to recommend to you, these are not just guesses. These are color mixes or just solid
Tried and
colors.
true.
Yeah, over all these years that we've been in business. So you can really go off of those recommendations to try.
And the app will actually let you try these colors on your client. So if you have a picture from one of your clients, you can go ahead and put that in the app and you can try the color that you're thinking of right on the eyebrow, and it will show you what it looks like.
It's a great app. Download it. It's free.
Lastly, if you find that you chose a color and you're not sure how it's going to go, and then they come back and you're like, that wasn't quite right for them, it's really easy just to shift palettes.
Yeah.
So say you chose espresso and it was a little bit too warm or too gold for your client, at the next appointment you can shift them over to chocolatey clear.
Don't be scared to choose color. It's really pretty simple. You use those 2 questions, smear it on the skin. You're really going to get at least very close to the correct color. And like the example that Irene said with the espresso, if it's warm, it's not your only option either to just shift palettes. You can also add a little drop of Cool-It for anything that is a little bit too warm. A drop of Cool-It on the touch-up will really work magic, and then it should blend with that old color and you'll have a very beautiful color.
The opposite is true as well. If you find that someone comes back and it's a little bit too ashy looking on them, you can shift them over to the warm palette. Or if you don't want to go completely over to the warm palette, you can add a drop of red.
And actually we use Peaches and Cream a lot, which is a lip color, but it's a color like any other color. Just a little drop of that is really good for kind of modifying your colors to make them a little warmer if you need to. And always, please remember, write down these modifications if you make them, or any mixes, and even just an original straight color. If that ends up being the perfect color, you're gonna wanna know that in a few years when your client comes back for their touch-up, because they're gonna know their color.
They always know their color.
They love the names of the SofTap colors. They will remember them. They make them hungry. We hear it all the time.
Right.
So write it down so you don't forget.
You can also put a swatch of the color right on the file.
Oh yeah, that's always nice, especially if there's a mix. You can match it once you have to make that mix up again.
Well, that's all for now. We hope that you enjoyed this video, and we hope that we made color selection a little bit easier for you.
Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy tapping!